Hello everyone, today we are going to discuss about logical functions. Logical functions are used to introduce decision making when evaluating formulas and function in Excel. A logical value can either be true or false. I've quoted some of the true and false statement for you just to give you an understanding. If function accepts three information. First is logical test. Second, what if the value is true and what will happen if the value is false. Logical test, this is the condition for the function to check or test. Value if true, the action to perform if the condition is met or is true. Value if false, the action to perform if the condition is not met or is false. Logical test explanation. So when performing the logical test with cell values, you need to be familiar with the comparison operators. You can see a breakdown of this in the table below. First is equals to, the operator is equal to sign, greater than, less than, greater than equal to, less than equal to, and not equal to. These are the operators which we would be using to test the logic. Point number 4, let's try to apply the if function. Is equals to if, bracket open. In this table, we are going to find if our project completion date is completed on time or if the data is missed. So we would be searching if completion date is less than or equals to that date, then it is completed on time. You know that whatever text you enter in a formula should be written with inverted commas. Then comma, what will happen if this logic is not true? So false value is delayed. Inverted comma close, enter. So the completion date of the project was 30th of April 2020, but it has to be completed by 29th, right? So it got delayed by 1 day. So let's copy the formula that 1, 2, 3 and 4 projects got delayed. So this is how we did date comparison or date logical test. How to do text comparison. So names are very critical information. So if you want to check whether these two names are matching or not, then you can do that by just equals to. So is equals to first name and then second name you're comparing with, then press enter. This will give you true or false. So we are just copying the formula to the bottom cells. First select the cell and press Ctrl D. It will duplicate the formula to the bottom cells till the selection. So if the names are just equal, it will show true, else false. How to do it with if? With if, we can give a certain parameter or text to produce if the statement is true or false. So is equals to if this name is equals to this, then same, else wrong. Bracket close, enter. So wrong. So this is how we can compare two text. Currency comparison. So we want to check whether the purchase rate of a product is equals to the printed rate on the product. So how we can do that? Same, we can do it with equals to also. It will give us true or false. With if, the criteria is this. If the price is same, give us same, else different. So is equals to if purchase rate is equals to printed rate, then same, else different. So price are different and only the 3 goods were sold on the same rate. This and this. Now over here we want to see if the student is eligible for an award. The criteria is greater than 85 marks. How to do that? We want to populate awardee or no awardee. So is equals to if marks is greater than 85, then awardee, else no award. Just drag it below. So only Riyansh has scored 90 marks, so he is an eligible student. And if you change the number, if you change it to 86, the answer is awardee. So it will automatically change. Right, and correctly is equals to if marks is less than or equals to 33, then fail, else pass. So 2 students got failed. Now greater than equals to is equals to if the student has scored greater than equals to 95 marks, then achiever, else not met the criteria. Only first student has achieved the eligibility. Over here we are going to test if and together. So we are going to test if the student has achieved 85 plus marks and 80% attendance, then the student is eligible for head boy, right? And we would be populating the true value is eligible and false value should be not met. So is equals to if, then we will start with and. Logic 1 is marks is greater than 85, comma, logic number 2, attendance is greater than 80%, bracket close, comma, if true then eligible, comma, not met. So only 2 students were meeting the criteria. So this is how we use AND function. Or we want to check for students who have achieved 85 plus marks or 80% attendance, they are eligible for certificate. So we are going to populate it like this: if or marks is greater than 85, comma, second logic, attendance is greater than 80%, or is closed, comma, if this is true then eligible for certificate, or else not eligible. XOR is used if any of the condition or the odd conditions are true. If both the conditions are met, it will give us false. If none of the conditions are met, it will again give us false. If either of the conditions are met, or maybe you can say if the odd conditions are met, then XOR will say true. So how to check it? Eligibility for certificate is 85% mark or 80% attendance is equals to if XOR logic 1 marks greater than 85, comma, logic number 2, attendance greater than 80%, close the XOR, comma, if it is true then met, if not then not met. So as you can see that over here both the conditions are meeting, but still it says not met. So this is the condition with XOR, that if an odd number of conditions are true, then only it is true. Not condition will just the opposite of true. So if the conditions are met, it will say false. Just the opposite. So if not, this is equals to yes, then true, else false. It is yes, but it says false. So not will give us just the opposite. nested if. So nested means that we are nesting one if into another. So if you're using multiple if together, it is known as nested if. So how to use it? It is generally used in grading. Basically is equals to if logical test is over here. So if this number is greater than 90, then excellent. We can replace excellent by giving the reference of this cell. So let's do it. As soon as you give the criteria from a cell, you should always freeze it. Freezing means we are making the cell or range absolute. If you do not know about absolute and relative formulas, then you should refer to our first video. We have explained it very deeply. So if this logical test is true, then excellent. Else, if it is not true, then go to another if. Right? We will not give false statement until all the criteria are given. Second criteria, if this number is greater than 70, then good. Freeze it. The shortcut for freezing is F4 on your keyboard, comma, if this is greater than 60, then average, freeze it, comma, if this is greater than 34, then this, freeze it. Now all the statements are done. So for last, we will give false. If all the conditions are not meeting, then give fail. Bracket close, close another one, close third if, and the last if. Enter. So as you can see, we have populated the result. You can also check it. Here we are using and OR function together. So the criteria is, if the mark is greater than 70 in this session or previous session and the attendance is greater than 70%, then the candidate is eligible, else not. So is equal to if and first is OR condition. So OR this session mark is greater than 70, comma, second criteria, previous session mark is greater than 70, or should be closed. Now we are back in AND. So logic number 2, then attendance should also be greater than 70%. If all these conditions are met, then eligible, else not eligible. Let's go through the formula again. If we've used AND towards the outside, or if D135, which is this session mark, is greater than 70, comma, second logic in OR is if previous session mark is greater than 70, OR is closed, then back to AND. If any of the condition is met, then check for attendance. If the attendance is also 70%, then the person is eligible or not. They both are ineligible because of the marks and percentage of attendance. Percentage of attendance, though they are meeting the previous session marks, but attendance was not 70%. So if we convert this to 70, the person is eligible. Moving ahead, let's suppose we are making attendance and some of the individuals are not coming to office without even information. So we want to populate all the fields which has P and want to check if the cell is blank, then what should happen? So is equals to if, over here we want to check if the cell is blank, then the person should be seen as absconding. This is equals to P, then present, else if is blank, we'll check this cell is blank or not. If this is blank, then absconding, else give me blank. Present, blank, absconding, and then present. In this table we have a set of data in which first two characters are text and second two are values. We want to check if the criteria is in that cell or not. So for that we can use if with left is equals to if left of this comma 2 is equals to the criteria, then present, else not available in shortcut. Paste the formulas below. So as we can see that we are able to populate it. As we have seen that we have used IsBlank over here, so we can use IsBlank over here also. So is equals to if IsBlank, if this cell is blank, then do nothing else. Nothing means double quotes twice will give us nothing, right? If we put space in between, it will give us space. If we put dash in between, it will give us dash. So let's put an hyphen, comma, what if it is true, we are given it, and what if it is false, value into percentage, bracket close, enter, copy the formula, paste it in the bottom, so we are able to find the results. We all know that we cannot do maths with text, so ABC cannot be multiplied with 20%. So how to deal with it? Is equals to if IsNumber, this is equals to true, then this multiply by this criteria, else give me text. Copy, paste in the bottom. So here we are. So we have two criteria over here. Over here we want to check if the person's salary is 5,000 or above or greater than 5,000, then he should get allowances of 1,500, and if the person's salary is greater than 10,000, then he should get allowances of 2,500. So how we check it? Is equals to if this number is greater than 5,000, this cell plus 1,500, because this cell states salary plus allowances, so salary is 6,000 plus allowances. Greater than 5,000, then 1,500, comma, if this cell is greater than 10,000, then this cell plus 2,500, comma, one more if. If, what will happen if both the conditions are not met? If both the conditions are not met, then blank, give me blank. Copy, paste it in the bottom. As you can see that it is giving me a value error. So for value error, there is another formula which is applied on these type of errors only. If you know that you have certain conditions in which you are not giving salary to somebody, let's see over here what is the condition. So GHI was not in office for a whole month with no information, so he is not entitled for salary till written explanation. So over here this is an error. So how to eliminate such errors? The only thing we need to do is just add if error at first, and then in the end just give what will happen if there is an error. So we can write need explanation. Now if we copy the formula to the bottom, so as we can see, for errors the formula is giving us need explanation. So there are some employee codes and we want to see if they contain AV in between. So can we search a text criteria in a jumble words? Yes, we can, and see if these mixed alphanumeric cells contain those criteria or not. The criteria is AV, so let's find it. Is equals to if search what is we are finding AV, comma within text is this we are finding in this cell, comma start number from where it should start search from the first number or character. Then what will happen if the value is true? If it is true, then give me AV, or you can say present, else not present. As you can see that in every alphanumeric character or cell there is AV in between, so we are able to find it like this only. A bonus, as you know that Excel eliminate 0 which are preceded with numbers. It is 0 0 0 1 2 3 4, so it is just showing 1 2 3 4 because zeros before numbers does not carry any value, so Excel knows that. But let's suppose you are in a bank and you have the account number of individuals who have preceded zeros, then how to write it? So the formula is equals to REPT, which is shortcut to repeat text. What would you like to write? You want to add 0, comma how many times, right? So we want this number to look 8 digits, so 2145 is of 4 characters, so we want 8 minus 4 to be written over here. So the way to write it is 8 minus length of the cell. This is it. So we've added 4 zeros. Now just add and this number. Copy and paste the formula in bottom. As soon as you copy this, copy any formula, to paste it in the selected cells, you can press Alt-H-VF. The shortcut is Alt-H-VF. As you can see, we have added preceded zeros. So you know that in Excel, if you are trying to write nested function, it can lead to error also. So you have to be very precise, and you should put more attention while using nested function. But what would happen if I tell you that you don't need to type multiple if function? Rather, you should write one formula and you will be able to populate what you are trying to find. So if we want to check the grades basis the numbers and the criteria is this, so if you type the formula, it will look like this. This must be the formula. So to eliminate such lengthy formula, critical formula, the formula we can use is equals to VLookUp. All you need to do is you just need to populate the lower limit from the criteria. So the criteria is are written over here. So 0 to 33 is fail, so we have written 0 for fail. Then 34 to 49 just pass, we have written 34 for pass, as and similarly in below cells. So what my formula would do is, my formula would search from 0 till 33 and will give me fail, and then it will again search from 34 to 49 and then give me just pass, and so on. Over here also, if you check, we want to populate sales category based on the sales number. So here is the category, this is the sales criteria. We have just excluded the lower limit, 0, 100, 500, 750 and 1000. So how to write the formula? Is equals to VLOOKUP. VLOOKUP needs three information majorly: lookup value, table array, and column index number. Range lookup is something which is very much applicable in this particular condition. So is equals to, again let me put that, comma, table is this, freeze it, comma. What will happen if we are able to find that maths number? We should be looking over here. So first column is this, second column, so we want to populate second column. So comma 2, comma, approximate match. Just press tab and then bracket close and enter. So just look, we are able to populate grades very easily without any error or hassles. So is equals to VLOOKUP, lookup value is this, comma, my range is over here from this cell till here, from Q172 to S176, always freeze the range, comma, if we are able to find 154 approximate value in this particular range, then what it should bring up to us: first, second and third column, comma 3, 1 is for approximate match, enter, copy this and paste the formula below. So here we are. So we are able to populate the results basis the criteria. That's all from my side for logical functions. I hope you have enjoyed this particular module. If you really like it, then do subscribe to our channel. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Subscribe to our channel if you like our content. Post your email ID in comments to receive an MS Excel helping tool. Subscribe now and promote for the love of learning.